Hello, friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Michelle Fondin, and I'm the author of Chakra Healing for Vibrant Energy, exploring your 7 energy centers with mindfulness, yoga, and Ayurveda. I'm also the author of The Wheel of Healing with Ayurveda, an easy guide to a healthy lifestyle. All of my 11 published books are available on Amazon. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for subscribing below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. I have an upcoming Dharma workshop over Zoom on March 23rd, 2025. It's called Discovering Your Life's Purpose. If you're interested, do check out the link below. Welcome to my video series on exploring your inner world and your spiritual awakening journey. Today, we're going to talk about the 5th sign to a spiritual awakening. Now, if you have not yet viewed the other videos in this series, I'm gonna put that playlist link right here. So we're gonna call this 5th sign Emergence and Enthusiasm. So very quickly, the 4th sign pertained to that state of funk or mild blues or depression that oftentimes happens. Now, this is not the dark night of the soul, not quite yet, but it's just this sense of something not being quite right. Do check out that 4th sign video after this video if you haven't yet viewed it. So I spoke about that, but after you get over the blues, funk, mild depression, you come out with this enthusiasm. So you emerge with this enthusiasm about your spiritual journey, about what you have been discovering, what you've been learning and absorbing in this new way of thinking, which is really expanded consciousness. Now, this is an amazing part of your spiritual awakening for you. I'm going to say that again. This is an amazing part of this spiritual awakening journey for you. Do you know anyone who has been on a spiritual journey? Anyone in your life? When they reach this stage of emergence and enthusiasm, it's almost as if they cannot shut up about their spiritual journey. They can't stop talking about what they've been experiencing. And it almost comes from a space where you had a friend or a family member and they acted pretty normal most of the time until their spiritual awakening. And once they went through this, it's like they became a different person. It was all that they could talk about. They can't even talk about normal things anymore because they're so excited to talk about their spiritual path, the spiritual awakening, the spiritual journey. And it's almost like, shut it off, will you? So when I say this is an exciting part of your spiritual awakening journey, it's for you that it's exciting. It's not necessarily exciting for other people. Now, of course, you should revel in that enthusiasm. And in fact, the word enthusiasm means the God within. It comes from the word entheos, which means the God within. So that enthusiasm is completely normal. And yes, you should be enthused that you are experiencing life in a new way, in a more enlightened way, and a more expansive way. So you should be excited. You should be enthused. So give yourself that. But not everyone in your life, in your immediate circle, is going to share or partake in that enthusiasm. When we reach this point where we are really beginning to be excited about the new things we're learning on our spiritual journey, the signs, synchronicities, coincidences, maybe you're noticing the beauty of life even more than ever before. And you're just in this state of wonder and awe, which does happen. Believe me, it absolutely does happen. And that's a wonderful way to look at life, right? I would much rather anybody in the world look at life with wonder and awe than with skepticism and being jaded, right? Wouldn't you rather people look at life with wonder and awe? They're just more pleasant to be around as human beings. So as you are emerging from the shock, the blues, the mild depression of your spiritual awakening and you're moving into enthusiasm, just know that the people around you are not going to necessarily accept the things that you are saying. So I would be a little bit careful about what you share and who you share these things with, because the people that do not understand the spiritual journey yet, they might at some point in their lives, but the people that are not on a spiritual journey might not understand what you're going through. And they might not even understand the terminology that you're using. When you say spiritual awakening, spiritual journey, when you talk about the chakras and Kundalini and things like that, dark night of the soul, the ego death, they may have no idea what you're talking about. So give them grace and give them time to adapt to your new way of being. Because think about it. Think about your loved ones. It can be really shocking when a loved one changes completely on a dime, when they're looking at things in a new way, when they're saying new things, when they're not acting the way you expect them to act, even if it is more positive. Give them grace to get acclimated to the new you. Because I know you know somebody in your life at some point in your existence who was really enthusiastic about even a religious path. It doesn't necessarily have to be the spiritual path, but maybe even a religious path. And you might have said it to friends like, oh, they're on a spiritual path or they're on a spiritual journey. And it wasn't something necessarily positive in your eyes, but it was something that you probably didn't understand at the time or couldn't partake in because you weren't at that exact point that they were at, and maybe you never will be. If they converted to a new religion and you have no interest in that particular religion, then you might not ever understand what they were going through. So the same goes for the spiritual journey. When you are awakening to your higher spiritual self, the people around you just may not understand, and so your enthusiasm may be waned by their lack of enthusiasm. The other thing that I would just be careful so that you don't alienate the people that you're close to is to not correct them in their ways of thinking. Because, and this happens a lot, believe me, this happens a lot for people that are on the spiritual path, who are newbies on the spiritual path. They tend to want to correct the thinking and words of the people around them. Like, no, it's not called this, it's called this. Or you should really think about looking at things in this way instead of this way. And so people that come out with this sense of enthusiasm have a tendency, not all, some, not all, have a tendency to be a little bossy, that they're really trying to force others to see things the way they themselves are now seeing them. And so when I say give others grace, it's that you are the one that is changing. You are the one that is going through this spiritual awakening and discovering all of these new things, oftentimes in a rapid manner. And when you immerse yourself back into your normal life with the people that you're already involved with, it can be really hard to reintegrate into those relationships if you don't meet them where they are at. So it is really important that you meet others where they are at. And if you meet them where they're at, it doesn't mean you have to lower yourself to behaviors that you are now rejecting. For example, if you have decided in your spiritual path, I want to take care of my body. My body is the temple that is housing my soul. I want to take care of my body. I don't want to go out drinking with my friends like 3 days a week. I really don't. It doesn't mean you have to go back to that behavior. But meeting your friends where they are at is like, hey, maybe I'll go out with you 2 nights a week, but I'll drink a soda or I'll drink a water. But I'm not going to partake in the alcohol because now I'm seeing things in a different way and I just don't want to. So meeting them where they're at is like not trying to change them into seeing things in the way that you now see them. It means that you have compassion and empathy and you give them grace to be the people that they are destined to be, because you don't know what's best for them. We don't know what is best for other people. We can only know what is best for ourselves. So all of this to say, when you emerge into this stage of enthusiasm for your spiritual journey and everything that you've been learning, it's a magnificent thing. And it's really important to find other spiritual seekers who are around the same phase of spiritual development that you are at. So if you want to share your enthusiasm among those types of people that are on the spiritual path, that are kind of at the same level of spiritual path that you are, you can go through this discovery of the higher spiritual self in tons of enthusiasm. But when it comes to your family and friends and colleagues, it's better just to taper it down and kind of meet them where they're at. Don't try to correct them, their behavior, their words, whatever, and just love them. That is the biggest message here, is to just love them, because honestly, that is what the spiritual journey is about anyway. It's about finding the pathway to unconditional love for yourself and unconditional love for others. That is the whole point and purpose to this. It's not about a specific way of doing things on a specific path, but it's really about finding the source of unconditional love, loving yourself unconditionally and loving others unconditionally. That is really the way. There is no other way. Truth be told, you will be moving through different signs and stages on your spiritual journey, and it's not all going to feel good to you. And so have compassion for yourself, give yourself grace, but also give your loved ones grace. And just know that they're on their own path. And if you're enthusiastic about your path and they are not enthusiastic about your path, that is okay. It is likely that those relationships will morph and change as you go along on your spiritual path. So I hope this was helpful to give you some insight into why your enthusiasm on your spiritual journey, as you emerge from this funk phase into the enthusiasm, why others might not be your biggest cheerleaders on the spiritual path. But that is okay, because you are on the spiritual path, so you can be your biggest cheerleader, and then finding others to connect with as well. So I hope this was helpful. I want to thank you so much for joining me here today. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. Thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this video with others who are on the spiritual path. Thank you for your support of my YouTube channel. You can buy one of my 11 published books. You could join my meditation course online on demand or join the Dharma workshop. And I will see you in the next video.